Hey guys, back here working on the 2500, and today we're going to replace the blower motor resistor as well as the harness that plugs into it, because this one has seen its day. The resistor here is probably still fine, but the connector has melted itself into the resistor and won't come out, and the wires need to be replaced anyway. So the easiest way to do that is with just a whole new harness and a new resistor. Let's do it. We're going to start this fix by removing all of the 7mm screws that hold on this bottom cover. There is 1, 2, 3 if you wanted to, and what I'm going to do, the one that is in the driver's side footwell I'm going to leave in. Just remove the other 3 and then pull this panel down and out of the way. Next, what you're going to want to do is remove these 2 screws that are loosened to show you where they are. And those are a 7/32. With those 2 screws removed, you can pull the resistor out of its home and unplug it from the blower motor back there. And then comes the fun part. Obviously these wires are pretty bad, and this connector has melted itself into the resistor, so there is no removing it. So they're all going to have to get cut to be removed. And once they're all cut, you can take your old resistor, set it out of the way, and get to work splicing together your new connector onto these wires. This new harness came with a lot of wire attached to it, and since I only cut off this much of my old wire, I'm going to cut this down quite a bit and then solder it onto those. So I've went ahead and tinned all the wires coming out of the truck, as well as tin the wires on my new harness, and put the shrink tube on beforehand so I don't forget to do it later. And then I'm going to set the old resistor right here so I can make sure that I solder these on in the correct orientation for the new resistor. Once you have that all soldered together, before we put the shrink tube on, just going to one more time make sure that the color orientation is correct. Is red, orange, black, blue, purple, yellow, tan. And then I'm going to shrink down my shrink tube. Now that we got that all shrink tubed, we can throw away this old resistor. Or I suppose if I wanted to, I could try and pry that connector out and reuse it, because it does still work. Either way, we're going to go ahead and plug in our new resistor and then plug the resistor into the blower motor. With that all hooked up, we're going to make sure everything works. Make sure we have all of the settings. And now we can finish the install. And now everything is the opposite of how it came out. Now we can take our new resistor, feed it up into its home, and tighten those bolts down. And after that resistor is mounted, all that's left to do is remount the 3 or 4 screws that hold up this bottom piece of plastic. And that's all there is to it. Now all you gotta do is clean up your mess and enjoy your working blower motor. So I managed to pry the old connector out of the old resistor. And as you can see, it melted itself together. And although this resistor probably still works, they're pretty cheap online. So these are going in the bin.